brother lived in the north of England, but he was not very rich. I was the youngest of 5 brothers. I left school when I was 17 years old. My father could not pay for me after that. I traveled on the ship Antelope to the South Seas. We left Bristol in May 1699. I will not write down everything about our journey on those seas, but I will tell you this. On our way to the East Indies, a great wind carried us the wrong way. 12 of our men died from the hard work and bad food, and the other men were not very strong. One morning there was heavy rain, and we could not see well. In the strong winds, the ship hit something in the water and broke. 6 of us got a boat into the sea, but we were weak, and the wind turned it over. We fell into the water. The wind and the water carried me away from the other men, and I never saw them again. "I'm going to die," I cried loudly, but then I put my feet down. I could stand. The wind was weaker now. I walked for more than a kilometer through the water and came to an island. It was after 7 at night. I traveled another half a kilometer, but there were no houses or people. Perhaps I could not see them because I was very tired. Then I sat on the ground and slept the best sleep of my life. I woke up after about 9 hours. It was daylight, and I was on my back. I tried to stand up, but I could not move. I turned my head a little and looked round me. I saw thousands of strings across my body. They were everywhere, round my arms, my feet, and through my long hair. I could only stay there on my back and look up at the sky. The sun was hot, and the light hurt my eyes. I heard noises next to me, but I could see nothing. Then something moved on my foot. It moved over my body and up to my face. I looked down and I saw a man. He was smaller than my hand. 40 more little men followed him. I cried loudly and they were afraid. They all ran away and jumped onto the ground. Some were hurt, they told me later. They came back and one man walked near my face. He threw up his hands and looked up at me. He called Hekina Degul. And the other men answered, Hekina, Degul Hekina. I could not understand their language. I could. I pulled very hard and I got one arm up from the ground. I tried to look at this man again. It hurt because it pulled some hair out of my head. I put out my hand and tried to catch some little men, but they ran away. Then I heard a noise, and something hurt my hand. 1,000 small swords, I thought. I looked down. They were arrows. Some arrows went into my clothes, and I could not feel them. But other arrows went high into the sky and came down on my face. They hurt me, and I was afraid for my eyes. I put my hand over my face. I'll stay quiet, I thought. Then I can break the strings tonight. These people can't hurt me very much. They're too small. So I stayed quiet and waited. No more arrows came from the little men, but their noise got louder and louder. There are more people here now, I thought. I heard a sound near my ear. I turned my head to the noise and saw men next to me. They're building something from wood, I thought. It's a table. Now there are 4 men on top of it. I understand. They want to talk to me. One of the men on the table was older and larger than the other 3. He wore a beautiful coat. A little boy, his servant, carried the back of this coat above the ground. The older man called, Langro Dehul San. 40 people came and cut the strings round my head. Now I could turn and see the people on the table better. Then the man in the long coat began to speak. He spoke very well, and he moved his hands up and down. I began to understand him. He spoke for a long time. Of course, his words were strange to me, but I watched his hands. We will not hurt you, I understood. But do not try to run away, or we will kill you. I put up my hand and showed him. I will stay here. Then I had an idea. I also put my hand to my mouth. I am hungry. The man understood me. He shouted to the people on the ground. 100 men climbed onto my body and walked up to my mouth. They carried food for me. It came from the king. They told me later. What food is this? I thought. They're giving me very small animals. Then I ate a lot of bread. The people watched me with wide eyes because I ate very quickly. A lot of men came with a very big cup of milk. I drank it and called for another cup. I drank the second cup and asked for a third cup. There is no more milk in the country, they showed me with their hands. But they were happy because I ate and